Hello friends, welcome to my channel ELS English Literature Studies with Kaur Harpreet. I'm here with one more video on John Dryden. John Dryden was an English poet, literary critic, translator and playwright. And he is such a dominating figure in the literary field that the period came to be known as the Age of Dryden. When we talk about Dryden, he is neither the product of emotional excitement of the early 19th century romantics or nor the product of intellectual complexities of the metaphysicals, right? And all these things are discussed by me in my previous video, in which I have discussed John Dryden, about his life and his works. Today I will discuss him as a representative of New Classical Age. And before starting my topic about Dryden, I think let us revise together what is New Classical Literature and why it is called so. Already all these topics are covered, but let us revise within 2 seconds. New Classical Literature was written between 1660 and 1798. It is called as the New Classical Writers Looked Back. It is called as New Classical Age or New Classical Period because the New Classical writers looked back to the ideals and art forms of classical time, and they tried to imitate the styles of the Romans and Greeks. These writers laid more emphasis on the classical ideals than their Renaissance predecessors, right? And today we will discuss about Dryden. So let us start with today's video. uh, Dryden is the greatest and most representative poet of his age, uh, that is called as New Classical Age. And basically his New Classicism was a reaction against the decadent romanticism of the preceding age. The metaphysical tradition of Donne was guiding us towards nonsensical thoughts. Here arose a desire for a change, a desire for something which is more in order and which is something more in manner. The glorious days of Elizabethan age had gone forever. Now there was reaction against formless poetry, formless prose, and this repression gave rise to pseudo-classicism of the late 17th and early 18th century. And there was no other great champion for it than Dryden, right? And Dryden developed in the realistic, critical, and skeptical tradition, whereas Milton's main aim was to preserve the elevation and growing richness of the humanist intellect. Milton also worked in terms of the higher genres, and Dryden followed in inferior genres also. Dryden's neoclassicism, it signifies two characteristics or two features, which are like this. Number one, his appreciation and recommendation of the theory and practice of the ancient Greek and Roman writers, and also there are old Italian and contemporary French imitators, right? It means he imitated his ancient writers. His critical and second approach, second feature, is his critical and realistic appraisal of his own times through the handling of topical and realistic themes having a direct and immediate bearing upon his society and times, right? It means he was very realistic in his works. These are two features of his New Classicism. Dryden's New Classicism, like the classical temper of his time, was a reaction against the decadent romanticism of the preceding age. Like his contemporaries, he did not allow his thoughts to wander into fairylands or to explore the mysteries of heaven and hell as Milton. Most of his poetical works are linked with his own life or his friends' life and enemies. For instance, his Religio-Leci, it was written in defense of the Church of England when he himself was its member, right? It means that his works are linked with his own life. Most of his works are linked with his own life. Then he wrote The Hyde and the Panther when he came out with his new religion, that is Roman Catholic. And his another work, Annus Mirabilis, describes the wonderful events. What are the events? The Great Fire and the defeat of the Dutch fleet in the year 1666. Then we have his three great stars, Absalom and Achitophel, the Madal and Macfleckney. And these are concerned with political activity of his age, and these are designed to chastise his personal and political enemies. It is clear that he was very realistic in the choice of his themes for his poetry, and his themes are sometimes prosaic, but the treatment is poetic. Dryden's neoclassicism manifests itself primarily as imitations of the ancient writers, and of all the ancient Roman writers, he respected Virgil the most, and his contemporaries also looked upon the ancient as their models. And when we talk about Dryden, for example, we have Seneca provided the moral model for tragedy, then Terence and Plutarch for comedy, Virgil for epic, and Pastoral Horace and Juvenal for satire, Pindar for odes, and Horace with his Ars Poetica for literary criticism. Right? In this way, his neoclassicism was mostly influenced by ancient writers. Next is his art is neither product of the pure classicism nor the pseudo classicism, but a strong blending. Right? When we talk about classical poetry means control, good sense, order, symmetry, lawlessness, then extravagance, eccentricity, disrespect of authority. All these things characterize the classical poetry. And when we go through Dryden's poetry, he is not, we can say, he is not a strict classicist. His art is neither product of the pure classicism nor the pseudo classicism, but it is Dryden who practiced in his early poems pseudo classicism, but his poetry is a strong blending in which the essential elements of discipline and inspiration are present. Right? And the next is he wrote as a cultured man. He wrote as a cultured man speaking to other cultured men. He was close to public, and he found his audience in his selected circle. His works were praised by the judgments voiced in the coffee houses and drawing rooms. He wrote of politics, war, religion, and scientific progress. All these things interested the society. And Dryden, we can say, is not a strict classicist also. His approach is marked by flexibility and tentativeness. He gave respect to ancients, but praised the moderns also, who did not care for the rules of the ancients. He praises Shakespeare and Chaucer. He is critical of French dramatists who lay all stress on regularity, which according to him leads to thinness. He condemns the French with their preoccupation with the rules at the cost of spirit of writing. Right? And Dryden appeared as a classicist because he featured clarity, simplicity, neatness, and order in his work. He is rightly called father of the modern English prose. His prose is simple, it has masculine vigor and raciness. He emphasized the need for clarity, order, and balance in words. He popularized heroic couplet for almost all kinds of poetry and tragedy. He is a creative writer who is possessing poetic energy, right? And uh, a writer who possessing poetic energy which is refused to be carved by mechanical application of the rules also. Thus there was synthesis of classical and romantic qualities in him. Right, friends? So this is all about Dryden as a representative of his age. I hope you will like the content, and if you like it, please hit the like button and share and subscribe my channel. And if you are new on my channel, please hit the bell button so that you can get notifications for my upcoming videos. And if you are interested, you can check my another videos on Dryden and another topics about English literature. Links will be given in the description box. Thanks a lot for watching.